Okay. Set up. Put a little rouge on here, okay? Warping this edge in. That's clean. And let me tell you something, it's so much easier to do this now than it is to have anything extruding out of here. That's why I like to clean this up first. So that's that. Now we're going to move over to putting these female adapters on here for my thermoport and for my... Alright, now that we got this thing all cleaned up, everything's looking very good inside and out. I'm very happy with this so far. We're going to go ahead and start orienting our holes, okay? Now sometimes on these pipes, when you guys buy this pipe, okay, they impregnate their name on it where I buy this pipe from. I don't want that in the very front of my unit. So I'll look around this thing and find the best spot for that thermoport to be, because since that's the front. And I also want to make sure that we're covering just one hole and not coming over here and covering, you know, 3 holes. So I'll typically come into this area right here and I'll eyeball this and I'll make sure that I'm where I need to be, and I'll go ahead and put a mark like right here, because I mean I've been doing so many of these, I know where they go, guys. So okay, so that's what I'll do there. Okay, and then once I do that, I'm going to go ahead and make that a better mark so I know where I'm doing it. And if you look at this, that hole is right in. It's going to come in. It's going to come out right here. Does that make sense? You're going to be coming out right here. All right. So let's go ahead and make that cut. And I'm going to be using a drill press to do this. What I've done is I made a little jig. You see that jig I made right here? It's got a couple cleats in it. When I put it on there, it sits on there very nicely. So when I go to drill this hole out right here, I get that square on my drill press, and I drill out a 5/8 hole right there. Okay, I'm not going to show you that. I think you guys can figure out how to drill out a 5/8 hole. So we'll drill out that 5/8 hole, and I'll let you come take a look at it when I'm done. Okay. Okay. My 5/8 hole is drilled. Okay. Now, what I typically do is I'll take a small circular file and I'll just clean up these edges a little bit so it's you know, knock some of the burr off of there. Okay. And then what I'll do is I'll take this section that we cut that was 3.5 inches, and I'll put a cap on it, a 1/2 inch cap. Okay. I've got one already made over here, so we don't have to go through that process again. But that's what it's going to look like when it's done. Okay, you're going to have the cap, and that gets soldered on. Okay. And what I want you to do is I want you to stick that inside that hole. If it doesn't fit in there, take this thing out, knock some more of that burr off there. Okay, it'll go in. You want it snug. Okay. As you see, that went in now. What I'll do is I'll stick that inside there, and I'm going to show you why I'm sticking it in there like that or backwards. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to line. Now I'm lining this up with the center of that. Okay, and once I line that up, now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to eyeball the back side of this, and this is going to tell me where I'm going to put my other 2 holes. Okay, that way they're all in line with each other. I found that that's the easiest way to do that. So now that I got those 2 holes where I want them, or marked where I want them, I'm going to go ahead and take those over to the drill press, and I'm going to drill those out, and then I'll show you what we do after that. In the meantime, I'm going to take this out because it is backwards. Okay, so bear with me, okay? Alright guys, what I've done here is I've drilled my 2 holes for my my inlet and my exhaust for my water on my Dephlegmator. I'm going to go ahead and come to the front now where the thermoport is, and I have reinstalled the closed 1/2-inch pipe back into that the proper way, and I'm going to slide that on through. And there's a reason I'm doing this, and I'll show you why. And I want to clean this edge right here. Okay, clean it. Put a little flux on it. Flux is key, guys. No flux, no adhesion. Okay. Now I've got a 1/2-inch female adapter right here, and what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to clean the inside of this out here. Give a little clean in it. Put a little flux in there. Okay, I'm going to stick that on there like that. Spin it around a hair. I'm going to put some heat on it, and I'm going to solder that in. Okay, looks pretty good. Looks like I got some good coverage there. Clean that. If you put too much on there, guys, make sure you clean that off. You don't want a big bulge of material getting ready to drip down on there and hardening, because you won't be able to get that thing forced in there correctly. Okay, I'm going to take this thing here so it's warm enough. Okay, let that cool off here. Okay, and then what I'll do is I'll just tap that in. Okay, and then I'll take it and I'll line it up with those holes. Okay, I'm going to line that up with those holes. That looks good there. And then I want to look at it for square. Let me see if I can show you square. You don't want this pointing at an angle. So, I mean, I'm pretty good with my eyeball, so that's what I do. And typically what I'll do also, since I'm a symmetrical guy, is I'll take this thing here and I'll spin this to where this line and this line match up, so it looks good. And then I'll double check my